Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV here at the 5th Cloud Expo. We're in New York City, as is Claudine Bianchi from Navisite, CMO of Navisite, I should say, no less. Claudine, welcome to New York.
Thank you. Always wonderful to be in New York City on such a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day. And above all, welcome to the cloud, because Navisite has kind of joined the cloud, but you've been here forever. It's like saying people have discovered America. You've been here all along.
Yeah, our business is changing, though. The cloud has really opened up new opportunities for computing, not just for us and our business, but certainly for our customers and constituencies.
See, so good. Right out of the gate, you say that word. It's good for computing. People forget. We talk about cloud computing. You're one of the rare people that puts the computing part back in it.
Well, it really is about computing. It's about how people will be interacting with technology. And what the cloud allows you to do is move very, very quickly on new ideas, on getting to market faster, in building your IT infrastructure so it's more compatible to meet your business requirements. What the cloud enables businesses is really to onboard new technologies faster than ever before. There's no waiting for hardware. There's no waiting for administrative assistants to run around and give everyone the proper authority. It can all be done from a single portal to make it very easy for IT. And it also allows IT to then focus in what's important to their business, not just running.
Let's try and coin a phrase. What I'm hearing here, so it sounds to me like your contention is, so this isn't just IT, it's not an IT innovation enabler, although it is. Over and above that, it's a business enabler.
Of course, technology has always been a business enabler.
So is cloud computing the fabric of business innovation?
I think it is moving forward. I think it's the next step in computing that we've seen. In the past, it was client-server, really revolutionized how we were taking PCs in the mainframe. The internet was our last big explosion. You know, how we interact with PCs on a day-to-day basis, personally and in business. Yeah, and it was only a few years ago, actually. Cloud is going to be doing the same thing. It's going to be a business enabler for us. We'll be able to create faster. It's a lower cost means of doing very high complex things, and it frees up our time to do more interesting stuff too.
Yeah, and then we've got the environmental players going on there. We've got social media somehow piggybacking all of this and bringing technology to grandmothers and aunts and maiden aunts.
I don't think the cloud is quite where my mother is. It's a little bit beyond that, but it's certainly going to have an impact on everybody using computing now. The speed at which it can operate, the lower cost initiatives that it brings to an IT organization, anybody, is really where it's heading. And when you think about a computing environment, it's not just the hardware we're talking about here, Jeremy. It's all the applications you put on that hardware. Right now, when you think about a company with 5,000 or 6,000 employees, to deploy a human resource application or an enterprise resource planning application are very, very difficult things to do. It takes months. What we can do now with the cloud is shorten that cycle down to weeks, if not days, if necessary. And that savings in time and effort is just going to be better for the entire community, the entire business community.
How does it work? You're a CMO at Navisite,
sure,
right? And our old cliche, on a rising tide, all the ships go up. How do you make the decision, Claudine, between evangelizing around the cloud or elastic computing or whatever concept you decide to drive home, and converting it to business advantage? Is it licking honey off a razor's edge? Is there a danger?
I've never tried that, so I don't know.
Too much evangelism or too much Navisite? I mean, is that part of your role, to get that pitch just right, that balance? Yeah,
my role is to understand the customer requirements, to understand what's going to make them successful in their respective businesses. So when I look at my clients, they're usually IT professionals, usually at the top tiers, CIOs, VPs, that are making decisions about their entire infrastructure. So it's not just playing where the cloud plays in, but these guys are very, very confused right now. Which applications do I put on the cloud? Which applications do I keep on-prem? Which applications maybe I'll benefit from hosting? There's a lot of confusion out there, and it's part of my job is to help them, through Navisite's capabilities, obviously, address all those concerns and help them be successful in their own jobs.
So Navisite, you've heard it here first, is a confusion solution. And Claudine is one of the engines of that. And you've come to this from the outside, because you're very sort of fresh from your perspective. are you re-energizing Navisite? It sounds like it.
Well, I think we've, as a company, well, when you have high energy, you go in and you re-energize the world. But about a year ago, we hired a new president, Brooks Borcherding, who really came in and studied the company and what we were good at. And over the course of the year, he's made some significant changes. He's brought in a whole new management team, a whole new sales organization, and we're divesting of those businesses that aren't core to our key strategy moving forward. So we've gotten rid of a couple of data centers that were selling primarily colo, and now we're really focused in on the complex hosting environment and managed services, mainly for the mid-market enterprises, those from 250 million in revenue up to 2 billion plus in revenues. But it's been a complete shift. I mean, we've gone from trying to be everything to everybody, which is a common problem, to being like razor focused, and that's really Brooks' direction for us. And I was just one of the lucky ones that he brought on board to help rebrand the company and get us out there. As the cloud is in its nascency growing, we feel that we're going to be a very big player there.
And what will be the slug? Are we going with cloud managed services? Are we going with what's going to be the main thing that I'm going to immediately think of soon when you say Navisite? I'm going to go, oh, you mean those guys? And then what am I going to say next?
Sure, it's all going to be about the applications. We are just not out there to give you computing power. Sure, we're infrastructure as a service company, but more than that, when you're starting to move your applications from your on-prem facilities over into the cloud, we should be the ones that you consider first, because we have a large group of expertise within Navisite that can help you do that. So
I like that. It's all about the applications. That's going to resonate out there with an awful lot of people. Now, it should resonate with what? With CIOs and above is what you're saying.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, it's not just the computing power, it's what you put on top of the computing power. The cloud opens up a lot of infrastructure and a lot of possibilities, but at the end of the day, you still have to do your business, and your business runs on applications. Do you find, Claudine, in interacting at boardroom level, do you find that, I grew up, I'm so old, with that notion of anthropology as hero. That was one of my influences as a child. Could we get back to like the idea of the CIO as hero? Because suddenly technology is being spoken of and deployed and resourced actually in the context of the business more and more and more, which is what she always said was why they should be in the boardroom in the first place. It's kind of proof of concept for IT at the enterprise level, isn't it? Absolutely. I've always been very confused why the CIO in an organization isn't given a place at the board table. I think in most companies they don't see them as the business enabler. Right. They see them as a necessary evil. And I think that's something that we're seeing shift. The cloud could be the engine of that change. It is, because you're moving from IT information technology into more business technology, BT. Yeah, so this whole concept of business technology is where the CIO can play a much greater part in making strategic decisions about the company's future. How do we bring in technology to not only solve our day-to-day problems, but to help us think strategically about our business moving forward? How can it help us relate to clients more and to customers? It's all a technology play. And that puts the CIO in a very envious position, because not only does he have the business perspective going on, he also has the understanding of the technology that can help him. And I think by having a greater influence with the CIO within that executive team, within the board level, companies will be able to leverage technology innovation much more effectively moving forward. I like that. Well, I hope to think we've reached out to CIOs who we know assiduously follow these segments on SYS-CON TV, and I hope we've reached people. I hope you've reached people. Your stand is behind us. I know this huge, wonderful Navisite stand. I hope you've reached exactly the people you wanted to reach at the show. It's been absolutely wonderful. We can't wait to come back to San Francisco in November. I believe it's when you're adding a second story to that giant stand? Yes, we are going to have 2 floors at our next stand. So that's the physical representation of expansion. Yes, that's brilliant. And in the cloud too. In the cloud. We look forward to seeing you there, Claudine, and we look forward to following the Navisite story, which started way before Cloud Expo and is probably going to last way after us. But in the meantime, we can be together and follow the journey together. Thank you so much again, Claudine Bianchi from Navisite, and thank you for joining us out there on the World Wide Web.